Hello, hello. I think I am live. Hopefully let me guys know if you can hear me. For some reason it wasn't connecting, but I think we are connected now. So if you can see me, see my thing, let me know. Okay. And hopefully you can hear me as well. Let's see, I'm going to switch to my screen. Oh my gosh, hello. I don't know what was going on there, but my internet decided it was not going to work as soon as it was time for me to go live. So let's see. Hey everybody. Let's see, can you guys see me? Can hear, just can't see you. Okay, now can you, yay, okay, yes. I got my phone here so I can see. So this has been so fun so far. It was crazy because I had everything all set up and it was ready to go and all morning. And then as soon as it was my turn, no internet. But I'm here now, so I better get started because I only have 20 minutes and I'm going to set a timer so that I know how much time I have. Hopefully that will go off. Let me get back here. Okay, so I want to thank Amanda for from Pear Blossom Press. I'm a little because of trying to get it going. This has been so cool, and I'll get started. So Ink on 3, most of you know us for our no line coloring ink called Fade Out because we were the originators of the first ever no line coloring ink. And if you're not familiar with it, I'll just show you a quick example. So this is regular stamping, and this is stamping with the Fade Out no line coloring ink, and it's the way I designed it was so that no line coloring would be super easy for everyone. You literally brush over the stamped lines and the lines in the ink become the color of the media you put on top. So this was a good example because you can see all the lines, whether it's red, orange, yellow, green, and it's so fun. And one of my favorite examples to show the difference between no line coloring versus regular stamping is like this little bird here was stamped with regular black ink, and this one looks like a little painting because it was stamped with the Fade Out no line coloring detail ink. And it still is the only one that does what it does. It makes it super fast and super easy. I'm going to clear some other things off. We also have, if you're a stamper, which all of us here probably are stampers. It's kind of a funny thing to say, right? If you're stamping, you're using your ink, you're getting your stamps all dirty, we have the only ink off stamp cleaning pad. You literally just dab this on and you wipe it off with a cloth and it cleans your stamps really well, which is also important when you're doing no line coloring. So today I thought instead of doing no line coloring, we would play around with some backgrounds with one of my favorite things that maybe some of you haven't seen yet and maybe some of you have, and I use this on every card I make basically. It's our liquid pixie dust, and I'm going to combine it today. We're going to use it in a few different ways because liquid pixie dust, it's a shimmer, but what's different about it is an iridescent shimmer. So it's not gold, it's not silver, it literally picks up whatever colors are around it. So that's really fun. And it comes in this little bottle, and it has like a little squeegee. So there's a lot of different ways you can use it. I'm going to show you how to do that. So what do we all need when we're doing cards is we all need a background, right? So I thought we would play around with some backgrounds today. And I'm going to use some of our Atelier ink. It's a fusion ink. It's also the only fusion ink that comes in a cube size. So we're just going to get going here. Sorry if I'm a little flustered because I was like, I'm not going to be able to even get on here at one point because of the connection. So I'm just going to make a quick background using the ink. I'm just going to put a little on my table and then of course get some water on there. And then I'm going to do some ink smushing, and then we're going to use the liquid pixie dust with this. I love ink smushing. Look at that. Isn't that so much fun? So this is how you get your background started. And you could get a few backgrounds, you know, out of one thing here, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to do this one. And then if I were to let that dry a little bit, maybe I'll dry it with a heat gun. Let's see, just a little bit. Has everyone having fun with this hop so far? It's so neat. So this is like the first thing we're gonna try. And the ink that I'm using, the Atelier ink, is water reactive also. And the cool thing about it is you can layer the colors, so you can start light and then go dark. And they're semi-opaque, so you can layer all these colors and do all the cool things you can do with like inks that oxidize. But the thing about this one is when you add water, the colors stay really fresh and vibrant. So now I'm going to take a little liquid pixie dust for this one, and I'm just going to, what's fun about it is I can drop a little on my table, and I can use a paintbrush with it. So and a little goes a long way. And or if I wanted to, I could literally put this liquid pixie dust using the dropper inside my water brush pen, and then I can always see how much shimmer I have in my pen. But today I'm just going to kind of get it on there, and then we're just going to sprinkle this on and do kind of like a sparkly background. Looking for my glasses there. I'm a little blind right now. I actually have to have some surgery on my eyes pretty soon. So you can see here, we could leave it like that and let it dry, and you've got all these little sparkles. Or sometimes if I'm like in a hurry, I can dab it off like this and kind of flatten them out, and then I could use that later, but I don't know why I moved it. But look at that, because you can imagine all the cool backgrounds you can do with that. And you can paint it on. So let's do that. So I have, like, say these flowers here, and I want to give them a little shimmer. I would just dab a little. I can do it a couple ways. I can put a dab on my work surface, or I can literally dip into this stuff, and it's like magical stuff, because you can just take it and I can paint it on and have as little or as much as I want, like this. So I can dab it, and then I'll show you. And I got some other tricks I want to show you too, which is really fun. So you can see here, it's going to pick up that yellow, and it's going to give us that really pretty shimmer. Isn't that, it's so sparkly. I think it's the sparkliest stuff out there. So this one is like that. But then I have, I'll show you like two different ones. Like this one I used the liquid pixie dust on, and I just put it on the flowers on this one. This one was no line colored. And this one I used it on the background, and it gave me the shimmer in the background. Isn't that fun? Okay, but there's another way that I absolutely love to use liquid pixie dust for, and how I use it. And actually, Lydia, who was on here earlier, used this, which is a gel press. And I have this gel press that I use specifically for liquid pixie dust, and it's because that way I don't have to like wipe it off and with different inks and paints. So if you have like, so I colored, say this piece here, and then I cut it all out, right? And I have this really pretty image. Now what I can do is I can shimmer the whole image just by laying on some liquid pixie dust on here. Oh, if you want to learn more about the no line coloring ink, we do have other videos about that as well, and I'll be doing some more too. I just thought since we only had 20 minutes, I would show you one of my favorite things, which is liquid pixie dust. So I took my liquid pixie dust and I dropped it all over the gel press using my brayer, and then I can give it a little spritz of water just to smooth it out, but you don't even have to do that, but let's just do that. And then I'm going to take my image and I'm going to turn it over onto it, and I'm going to get shimmer all over this piece. Isn't it gorgeous, right? But yeah, like I said, I do have other videos on no line coloring, because that is really one of our most amazing. Now look at that. I don't know, can you see that? It literally shimmered the entire piece, super smooth, and this stuff will not come off. So you know how like a lot of shimmers you put on and then they flake off after they dry. This one does not flake off. Once it's on there, it is on there, and you can just see it hasn't taken away anything from the coloring that I did, and it just gave it like this all over shimmer. So then I can do the same thing with a background. Like, so I have this background that I did, and now I still have lots of shimmer on there, so I can just reactivate it a little bit with some water. Oh, thank you. I'm going to brayer that. Now I'm going to put this down, and this is going to give me a really soft, pretty shimmer all over the entire background. So you can do it with splattering. You can, you know, do like a whole background like I'm doing here, and you're going to see it's like giving your paper, it's like you have shimmer paper then. Can you see that? And then if I want it to be, this one is the real, so you can adjust it to like, if you want like a subtle shimmer or you want it to be like super shimmery. So this one kind of gives me like a subtle shimmer, so you can control how much or how little you get. So if I took this purple background, and I put some more liquid pixie dust in, and I wanted it to be a little heavier, like I wanted a little more shimmer, I'm just going to brayer this on here, and then I'm going to put this back, and you're going to see this one's going to have a little more shimmer. So you could get a lot of backgrounds out of just a little bit of liquid pixie dust. And I love that you can paint it on, you can use this technique with the gel press, or you can splatter it, and there's just so many different ways. Now you can see this one has a little more shimmer. You can see one is a little subtle and one is more shimmery. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is, say you have colored cardstock and you want to have, you know, a shimmery background. And so like I'm going to take some there and just add it on. I'm going to brayer again. I'm going to get it all over here because I want to show you how it looks on colored cardstock, or actually black cardstock, because we did some. So I can take this black plain cardstock. I'm going to put that down and wait till you see how cool this is. So now I'm going to get a little on the back side because I'm using the brayer that already had some shimmer on it. Here we go. And brayer that down. And now when I peel this up, look at that. Look at all that shimmer. I love it. And so it's like you can have shimmer cards, you know, you can make your own shimmer cardstock basically. Isn't that so fun? I just love all the things you can do with it. And then like some cards, like I'll do like accent pieces, like I did this one here where I put the liquid pixie dust on the flower, and I didn't do it on the shoe, but then I did some on the background, and it just gives a really fun look. Or like this one, I took it and I put it on, I stenciled it, and then I splattered this one. I know sometimes it's hard to tell on camera. I hope you're seeing that. Isn't that so much fun? Yeah, so much fun. Yeah, that shoe is so fun. And this one was no line coloring as well. But, oh, yes, there's another thing I wanted to show you. So we can splatter it, we can paint it, we can put it inside our water brush pen, we can brayer it, but you can also use it on other things. So say you have like some ribbon or some flower, and flowers, like I have like these little silk flowers, and I want to have them shimmer like this. You can see here there's no shimmer. Little cat hairs there. I have a cat that likes coming to my craft room. How many of you guys have cats? So you can see these flowers don't have any shimmer, but they're really pretty, and I think they would be even prettier if they had some shimmer, because I love to put liquid pixie dust on just about everything. And I can literally take it and add it right to my flowers, and it's going to give it just the right amount of shimmer. Then I can add this. Isn't that pretty? Now you can see the difference. Look at the difference between this flower and this flower. How pretty is that, right? And you can see right through it. You still see the color of the flower, but you've got this shimmer, and you know, you could put that, say, if you had, you know, a background, you could put these flowers on, you know, a card or something like that. So not only can you use it on your cardstock or your cards, you can use it on your silk flowers and ribbon. Speaking of, I know someone had asked about the fade out ink, so I want to show one other example. So with fade out ink, you can see I actually did all of this with fade out ink, did the no line color, but you can also use that for backgrounds too. So you can take your fade out ink and use it for and get these really subtle backgrounds. So all of our stuff is very versatile, and you can do a lot of different things with it, and it's so much fun. So we've got about, let's see, 5 more minutes, and let me see if any of you have any questions too. Let's see here. Isn't that so much fun? But if you want to see, let me see if I can find, I moved all my stuff all over the place here. Let me find my fade out ink. Oh, fade out ink actually comes in a cube size now too. So we have it in cube size as well as the full size pad. And why would I want a full size? I'm trying to find my, how many of you guys lose things as you're working? Oh, here it is. As you're working on things. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about fade out real quick. In that when you're stamping with fade out, you want to make sure to have a really clean stamp, because if you don't have a clean stamp, or maybe it looks clean to your eye, you could still have residual ink on the stamp. 5 minutes. Oh, how about, am I all done? Is that it? Let me see. Oh, I think I started my timer early. So, okay, I guess I am all done. Thank you all for working with me on my time and all that. But I also want to give you a coupon code for World Cardmaking Day, 20% off of your order, and just use at inkonthread.com, and it's WCMD20. And I'll also put that in the description. Yeah, this will be available later. And if you subscribe, you'll get notifications. You can also subscribe to our newsletter where I have a lot of coupons and things like that will come to your mail, and that's where you can get this coupon code as well. You're always losing things? I know, right? Well, next is Erica, so hop on over there and see her. Thank you so much for joining me. See you guys at the Zoom. Okay, bye-bye.